Good morning, traders and potential traders. This is Nuke coming at you live with another episode of Day Trading with Nuke. Check out all the junk behind me. There's going to be one hell of a computer build this weekend, and it's going to be for the trading computer. All right. That being said, we're possibly doing a build video, we are definitely going to be doing some free mentoring sessions this weekend. Tune in 3 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a thank you for getting me up to over 300 subscribers. And I'm going to give you a chance to give me some feedback on some changes I'm looking at making to the channel, different content I'm looking at bringing out to you guys, and tell you a little bit about some of the support we're trying to give to our disabled vets out there. So without further ado, let's jump right into this pre-market watch list. And coming right up, there's my alarm right on cue, 5:20. All right, we're going to start this off. I'm going to tell you what we got today. It's a little longer than yesterday. I got 6 tickers on here: Apple, NVIDIA, Facebook, AMD, BABA, and Caterpillar. Yes, I know. The scanners are saying there's stuff that we don't normally play that is popping off, and it's popping off nice. It's got a lot of potential out there. I plan to stick to the major players that I know how they work and kind of have a good feel for them, because right now the market's been pretty choppy. No matter how much it skyrocketed yesterday, you know, kind of after the trading day had a good little roll going to it, it's just dangerous. It'll chop you out. So I'm sticking with the big boys and the girls that I know good from the dance. So, all right, Apple. She's been holding this really nice uptrend, had a hell of a day yesterday. And what I saw for Apple, if you look at it, she had been climbing with the rest of the tech stock. She just dropped down. But look at this. Look at where she ran into this resistance at the 50, just slammed right into it. She come to a grinding halt, just bam, right on the nose. So what I see today is we have the voodoo line at 181, and we're right close to the top of our pre-market high, which is 182, and we've steadily been bouncing back and forth in a wedge pattern, coming down following that resistance line. So what I would expect to see is that this thing's going to retest this voodoo line, kind of follow along here, and it's either going to break out on the upside or the downside, guys. I think today's the day, whether it regains a little bit on the longer time trend in terms of a consolidation and we fill in this wedge pattern here, or if it's going to break out to the high side and just decide it wants to run. It's got a lot to do with how the SPY is going to react. So what does that mean for us price-wise? Well, on the high side, I wouldn't expect to see it jump up much more than 184. In the event we have another day like tomorrow, maybe it could get up to around the 186. On the low side, if it did break down, expect to retest the 179. And then if it totally tanked and tried to fill that gap from yesterday, expect 177. And if it's a horrible, horrible day, 175. So hell of a good range of motion on Apple today. And we're talking biggest scenario, we're talking about $10, and on the normal expectation, we're looking about $4.50, $5 range. But that's good. That's consistent. It's not so big that it's going to blow up an account if you're on the wrong side of it, and it's big enough that it'll still put decent money in your pocket. All right, next up is going to be NVIDIA, NVDA. NVIDIA, not VD. It, following all the tech stocks, has been dropping off the map. It had itself a nice little recovery yesterday, and we're coming right in here to that 50 range, right? But I don't know if NVIDIA is going to shell out a little early or if it's got a little more in it. So what are we looking at? I don't know why my cursors are missing off the bottom. Makes it hard to scroll when I can't see the cursors. I guess I'll shrink that a little more. All right. So yesterday, like I said, pre-market, it was following this charting nicely. It held good across the tops and tops here. But this morning, it's been downtrending a little bit. The voodoo line opened up at 158. And what I see happening, folks, is it's going to try and wedge down in here. It might bounce. If the SPY goes good, it might bounce off the voodoo line from 158 and come back up to the high side. And if not, expect to see it break down and follow this resistance down. How far down? Well, our current range of motion is between 160 on the high side and 158 on the low side. But if she bounces and breaks this support, I'm sorry, this will be net resistance now, I really cannot see it passing 163 on the high side. I think it's going to have a little bit of a correction today. But if it gets behind it, maybe potentially coming up as far as a 165. If it follows the current resistance line on down and, just kind of makes a break for the downside, you could see 155 on a normal range of motion. And maybe, if it just gets out of control and wants to tank, 152-ish. What does that mean we're looking at? Probably around $5 range of motion, but at least expect around 2.5, 275 range of motion. Next up is going to be Facebook. Oh, that is not GB. FB, hit the GB. All right. Facebook slow grind down. Where are we currently at? Look at that. Another one sitting here right at the 50. And we have a hell of a nice wedge. Looks like an ascending triangle. If the SPY gets behind it, maybe it'll be the breakout day. So I left the trend line from the other day. I really liked it, so I'm going to keep that in there on my high side, and then on the low side, as we're setting in some new resistances with this falling pattern we're sticking to, I'm going to go ahead and leave that. I like it. The voodoo line was at 136. What does that mean for us? Well, if she gets the guts and squeezes out of this triangle, I expect to see her jump up from here, retest the voodoo, come up as far at least as 136, possibly all the way up to 138. And that's on the high side, right? But if the SPY doesn't rally, the SPY wants to close some of the gap it made yesterday, and everything starts breaking to the low side, which in the tech stocks, that's kind of what I'm banking on. And then what we're looking at is possibly dropping down as far as 133. And if it's a horrible day, maybe we'll see it get down here. Let's call it around the 132. So what's that going to look like for us? Range of motion. On the positive side, maybe $3. On the expected side, somewhere around $1.59, $1.65. But on the worst case scenario side, let's call that about $5. So I guess that one wasn't 5. That was 3. Still going to be pretty good. Not sure if it's going to be as good of a deal with Apple. Maybe somebody makes a horrible post or something, and we get some bad news and she tanks. Who knows? AMD. Yep, my devil darling. She does me dirty. I love it. She is so cruel. Holding with this trend line from yesterday, it was a little bit off when I measured from here to where that pre-market was, and it put me just a little bit out of the zone. So I toned that down, brought it down. And AMD is following what the other tech stocks in a downward trend today. It's had this downward trend for a while now. You've seen that consolidation setting up, but AMD is one of the few that tested the 200. I'm expecting to see this thing reject and come on down, depending on the SPY. We'll see. Look at this. You're what, 88 to 10 cents away from the 200, and all of the real quick trends are stacked up on the positive side, but this 200, the longer term trend, still has a little bit of downward action to it. Anyway, what does that mean for us? The voodoo line opened up, down here at 2091. It popped up a little bit. I expect to see this reject. More than likely, it is going to stay somewhere around the down underneath here. If it breaks down pretty good, I expect to see maybe $20.30 on absolute bad 1980s somewhere. If it does get some strength and the SPY rallies and continues up today, expect it to jump up after retesting this resistance line, possibly go all the way up to 21.90s to 22.5s. Okay. All right. Let's move into a couple of industrial stocks, and we're going to do that with BABA. BABA had been rolling off, and then it consolidated, managed to get itself above the 200. Now it's kind of kicking ass and taking names because that was due to the SPY having a great day yesterday. However, after that great SPY, we had a lot of gap fill. Voodoo line opened up at 157, and we have this hellacious resistance line above it. I expect to see a little bit of refilling that gap. So what's that looking like for us on BABA? Probably if it gets up above here, retest the high of day, maybe 159-ish, 160. But more than likely, we could see BABA drop as low as 153. Last but not least, Caterpillar. She doesn't have enough data to offer any reasonable Fibonacci for you guys. But just looking what happened yesterday, she bounced right on this line, so I'm leaving it. And then I had drawn this line a few days ago. We're currently, see, 130.77. We're up here. But I don't trust it. So I'm going to leave this one here too. That was that long-term trend line from the 4-hour that was drawn. And what do I see happen? I see us in a descending wedge for Caterpillar. So if she can break and come down, retest this 4-hour resistance mark somewhere around the 128 and bounce, you might see her test back up to the 131-ish up here on the 4-hour chart if the SPY has some guts to it. If not, if the SPY is going to be filling that gap, expect this thing could drop down as low as the 125s. That could possibly mean about $5 worth of range of motion for you. All right, guys, that is all I have. I got it out to you in, I'm hoping this is about 10 minutes or so. And I will see you guys later on today with the recap. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me some comments. Let's get that two-way communication going. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys later.